This chaotic video that you're seeing behind me is from an officer's body camera. She ran to a scene. Wind is fueling these flames and then blowing those smoldering embers, starting new pop-up fires. Thank you for joining us for 8 News Now. I'm Christianne Klein. We're going to have more on those stories in just a moment, but we begin with breaking news. 8 News Now has just learned the Somerset Academy North Las Vegas campus is on lockdown. There was a shooting near Centennial Parkway and 5th Street. That's about a quarter mile away from that school. Parents, if you're skeptical about getting your child vaccinated for the flu, doctors say you shouldn't be. We have this debate over temperature all the time here at Channel 8. So we brought in this handy dandy infrared thermometer. We're just going to zap it right there. Is this temperature good for you right now, Brian?
Today's really good, yeah.
Okay, 72.6. We already saw one of the pilot vehicles and the route car go ahead. These are the vehicles that go minutes ahead of the president and the presidential motorcade so they can assess any potential threats on this route. And we do know there's a lot always happening in Las Vegas. And there we go.
Have you ever wondered what happens if you drop the needle on an Oreo?
No, but the Oreo music box has your answer. And now the question is, will that ethics report keep him from running for another office? Politics Now co-host Steve Sebelius reported in May that Kuhn was considering a bid for the Las Vegas City Council seat that's currently held by Councilman Bob Coffin. And Steve, this ethics report was just released. It is still fresh. Does he think he can win?
Whoa,
Whoa. Yesterday.
Double digits to triple.
Yesterday, Monday, said 99.
Whoa. I'm with Christianne.
Here's the thing. When we get to September, I can promise you more 90s, Christianne. Okay?
Oh, that's a heck of a look.
Look at that look on the face.
That was just fun for me.
That was serious.
And we start with breaking news out of McCarran Airport, where Spirit Airlines plane has been evacuated prior to takeoff. A special panel is underway right now to address recent racism and bullying issues in our schools. The event is meant to give the community a chance to voice concerns. The woman charged in her 3-year-old son's death from 1986 was back in court today. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle shared their new baby boy with the rest of the world today at Windsor Castle. The Duke and Duchess have also revealed their son's name. 2 students arrested at the same high school today for bringing guns on campus. Thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Christianne Klein. 1 year ago today, 3 lives were taken in a deadly crash at the intersection of Flamingo and Eastern. 7 other people were hurt in that wreck. And tonight, family members of 2 of the victims are remembering the lives lost. Shakayla Alvarenga is live at that intersection where a vigil is getting underway. Shakayla? Well, Uber hopes its drivers will be able to help crack down on crime. The ride-sharing company is teaming up with Crime Stoppers in a partnership that will make it easy for Uber drivers to report potential crimes right within the driver app. And they will be able to remain anonymous. Now, Uber says that they have more than 900,000 drivers across the country living and working in communities, all potentially able to spot crimes.
Well, all across the country, people are chipping ice off their car and shoveling snow.
But not here in Las Vegas. And we got Ted Florendo in with a quick look at your forecast. Questions remain about where the Raiders will play next season, as the stadium here in Las Vegas will not be ready until 2020. The team owner says he will not re-sign a lease at the Coliseum after the city of Oakland filed a lawsuit against the Raiders, NFL, and the league's 31 other teams this week. 8 News Now reporter Kristen Drummond talked with fans about this unfolding drama. And the team is considering its options, including playing in other cities for 1 year. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell says that the league needs an answer by January or February for scheduling purposes. Well, here in Las Vegas, we kind of have it made. No hurricanes, no tornadoes, no blizzards. But we do have scorpions. In fact, Terminex just published a guide to the pest trends that defined 2018, and Nevada is the top state in the nation with a scorpion problem. Washington, D.C. has rats, Florida has mice, Alaskans deal with tons of squirrels, and wasps are a problem in Arizona. However, bed bugs was the company's pest of the year, with Americans searching 6.7 million times for those critters on Google.
Those bed bug stories that we've all done over the years, those stay with you, don't they?
They do. They give you a little bit of nightmares.
Especially the visual of the mattress and such.
But squirrels. Squirrels a problem?
Yeah, who knew? Not for us, but apparently, well, I'll stick with scorpions. Those stings are nasty. Still ahead on 8 News Now, and the Valley's news leader, a new industrial area getting more and more accessible.
The next big step to turning the Apex site into an industrial powerhouse. We're sharing stories of women who helped shape Las Vegas from a place dedicated to preserving our city's culture. Las Vegas's most iconic sign may not be among those here at the Neon Museum, but that's because it is still standing high over the boulevard 6 decades after it was designed by artist Betty Willis. Well, as you know, Senator Dean Heller is widely considered one of the most vulnerable Republicans. He is the only Republican senator up for re-election this year in a state that Hillary Clinton won back in 2016. For a while, we believed that this actually could flip the balance of power in the Senate. We now know that is not true. Republicans have flipped 3 seats in the Senate today because of Indiana, Missouri, and North Dakota. What this would do, what a win tonight would do for the Democrats, is stop the bleed. Now, Dean Heller has had a complicated relationship with President Trump. Back in 2016, he said he denigrates human beings. He sounded at times almost like he was a never-Trumper. Since that time, he's come back on board with some of the ideas that President Trump has espoused, including health care. He actually said that they have a love affair. Donald Trump has mentioned that in the past. So this is a really interesting seat that's up for grabs tonight. The other thing that's really interesting about this particular group of senators, and there are 35, normally there are 33 or 34 that are up for election tonight, 35 including one that's going to be decided next month in Mississippi. These guys will be up in 2024. Why is that date so important? Well, if Donald Trump gets his wish and he gets reelected to another term in 2020, 2024, he will be an outgoing president. So there's a little bit less of a threat of some of those tweet storms that we've seen by the president that has threatened people in the House and in the Senate. That gives the Senate a little bit more autonomy if they so choose. We're going to see that again in 2020 when we have 33 of those Senate seats up for grabs, and 2022 when we got 34 of these Senate seats up for grabs. We also saw just next door in Utah, Mitt Romney winning a Senate seat tonight. That is significant because he has obviously been on the other side of President Trump on many different issues, including health care. He's not afraid to push back. So will we see that if Heller gets elected tonight and re-elected tonight? We're going to have to wait and see. But so far, he has never lost an election.
Calls of active shooters at multiple locations.
It's been 1 year since 1 October, since Gianna and Natalia Baca were shot at the Route 91 Harvest Festival. A year since their entire world changed.
It's been hard.
For the Baca family, every single day is a roller coaster ride of emotions.
There's like a new normal in our house where you just never know how they're gonna wake up.
Are they having nightmares?
Yes, sometimes they do.
What wakes you up?
I feel like it's just like the memory, like that night, just going through it again. Yeah.
It's just the memories replaying.
Oh, we can put another one in there. I'm right to UMC with a female with a gunshot wound to the head. Keep her neck stable.
This is the reality of life a year after 1 October. A family struggling to deal with the emotional wounds of victim and caretaker. The twins still deal with the physical trauma of being shot, the bullet fragments permanently lodged in their bodies that cause Gianna daily pain, and that Natalia memorialized with her framed chest x-ray in her bedroom. For Cindy Baca, it's the never-ending pain of a mother trying to help her daughters cope.
What's been the hardest part of this last year?
Just watching the girls just kind of struggle and not being able to do anything to fix it.
1 October has left its mark on this family. Good days can turn bad in a heartbeat, and anything can trigger a traumatic memory. When Cindy took the twins to Disney World for a graduation trip, the normal Disney crowds were viewed as a potential threat. Their fun trip could bring on anxiety in a second.
One day we were in one of the parks and they had a daytime show and they shot some fireworks off, and it set one of the girls off really bad, and I didn't know what it was because we lost her. And then my friend noticed, she found her like in the corner crying, and I thought it was like teenage girl stuff. She was scared she thought it was like gunshots, and then I felt horrible.
I feel like I'm always like scanning and like looking out like windows and like just making sure that everything around me is safe.
Do you think this is going to be how you live the rest of your life and how they live the rest of their life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's not a movie that I go to that I don't think about how could I get out. There's not a time that they walk out the door that I don't wonder when they don't call on check-in on time.
Like so many other survivors and their families, it's the emotional trauma, the new and permanent life changes that haunt them.
Are you guys surprised that you're still on this roller coaster, emotional roller coaster a year later?
Yeah. It's scary to like think about in the past of what emotions I felt and why I was feeling that way, and now it's like they're coming back and I like understand why it's happening.
Like what?
I feel like every day I'm like literally walking on eggshells. Like it's scary, but I'm so used to it now that I feel like it's like my life and I just have to keep walking.